Hi and welcome to the Australian Fishing Championships. I'm Pat Panetta.
And I'm Sophie Woods. And this week, round 3 of Australia's premier tournament fishing series comes to you from New South Wales to fish Pittwater and the beautiful Hawkesbury River.
After only 2 rounds in Queensland, our series has thrown up some pretty close results and also a fair share of drama. So let's look at last week's action.
We're out of here.
How true he was. Round 2 on the Gold Coast saw Adam Royter's day end with no points after getting disqualified for not wearing his life jacket whilst planing his boat. New South Welshman Ian Miller struggled in the maze of waterways that is the Gold Coast and had a slow day bagging only 2 fish. Team Quinrex's Chris Wright also couldn't bag the 5 fish limit, snaring only 3, one of them via the risky teabagging technique. After winning the first round in Brisbane, Mercury's gun, Tim Morgan, looked good to make it a double, but his 5 fish only secured him 3rd spot, behind Queenslander Jesse Lomas, who was on fire in the morning, bagging a full limit of 5. Not satisfied with his full tank of bream, Jesse also snared the extra roguefish point for his mangrove jack. The winning combination of Netspace, Steve Starling and garlic scent took the event home. Starling hit a hot spot late in the session and landed the Gold Coast's heaviest bag.
I tell you what, my Netspace crew, the boat absolutely purred today. They've got it just running perfectly. Everything was where I needed it to be, and that's what you need. You have to be able to just think about the fishing, focus on that.
So, after 2 rounds, the championship couldn't be closer. We have Starling tied with Chris Wright in 3rd, and the 2 Queenslanders, Morgan and Lomas, share the top spot. So there you are, very tight at the pointy end of the field. Now I'm here with Tim Morgan, who picked up the points a couple of weeks ago, winner from round 1 on the Brisbane River, and last week on the Gold Coast, Steve Starling. Tim, you and Team Mercury must be pretty keen to pick up the points today, just to add to your win in Brisbane, 3rd place last week on the Gold Coast, and it would really sort of keep Jesse Lomas and Team Suzuki out of the way for a bit if you were to pick up the points today, don't you think?
Yeah, Pat, well, we've had absolutely awesome pre-fish here on the Hawkesbury River. There's a lot of big fish and a lot of places to catch them, so hopefully I'll bring home 5 of them today and get a few points ahead of the other guys.
Beautiful. All right, Steve, now you and Team Netspace must be happy as well. The win last week on the Gold Coast, you're home here in New South Wales. Is it an advantage for you to be fishing here?
Well, I'm back in my home state, but not really much of a home ground advantage because I haven't really fished this system until the last couple of days. But as Tim said, fantastic fishing out here. We caught some big bream, lots of different kinds of structure, but it's a vast system and we're going to cover the miles today. So I got the Netspace support crew to squeeze as much fuel into the rig as possible. All
right, good luck, guys. Now, big day here in Pittwater. Let's look at the arena. An hour north of Sydney is one of Australia's most beautiful river systems. The Hawkesbury River carves its way through sandstone cliffs, rugged mountains and deep valleys before entering the sea at Broken Bay.
The fish seem to be a little bit more plentiful down this area. The landscape here is awesome for fishing. There's so much area to cover. Natural structure and man-made structure, it's huge. I'm going to run straight to the bridge, which is where I think everyone else is going to be. So the faster boats are going to get there first, but we've done some speed trials and they only get there a minute before me, so I'll be right up them.
Well, now we're back in New South Wales. Team Mariners had a great pre-fish down here. We caught big fish and quite a few of them. We've got our spots pegged out, so as long as the weather holds, we'll be right.
I reckon the conditions are absolutely perfect. It's overcast, drizzly rain every now and again, and it's not that bright sunshine, so the fish won't be as spooked. So I love fishing on days like today. This is great.
Round 3's rogue fish is the flathead. The longest one caught will earn the angler that snared it an all-important extra championship point.
If I get a big bag of 5 fish today, I'll definitely go and target a flathead because that's what's brought Jesse up on par with me. So if I can get a win and the rogue fish, I'll push that much further ahead of him.
So the rogue fish are now playing an important role in our anglers' championship desires. Time now to head over to Matthew Campbell for the start of round 3.
Thanks, Pat. Round 3 of the AFC Outdoors Bream Pro Series coming to you from the beautiful Hawkesbury River, starting at Pittwater. And this is round 3 of a total of 5 are at the halfway point. And for 3 of our pros, they now have a home state advantage. Starling, Wright and Miller out of Queensland and into New South Wales. Our arena today, the Hawkesbury River, it's a vast complex. Look for 2 types of fishing, around the bridges and around the oyster leases. There's the club marine clock. 7 in the morning, 7 hours for our pros to fish. Siren sounds. We're underway for round 3. Equal championship leader Tim Morgan from Team Mercury first to go, followed by equal leader Jesse Lomas from Team Suzuki. There's Team Netspace and Steve Starling underway. A look round the shoulder and he sees Chris Wright equal on the board with him from Team Quinrex. Next to go out will be Ian Miller from Team Mariner. And last but not least, from Team Hogs Adam Royter, yet to score a point in the first 2 rounds. Recapping the rules, our pros have 7 hours to compete, fishing catch and release using soft and hard-bodied lures. Looking for a maximum of 5 fish, the heaviest bag will take home 10 championship points.
I've got a couple of really nice spots lined up, and we're going to hit the best one first.
Will those best spots give Royter his first points? Find out when we return. Welcome back to the AFC Outdoors Bream Pro Series Round 3. We're with Adam Royter, and as we saw before the break, he was pretty keen to get to these old railway bridge pylons. And still early in the morning, probably only had 2 or 3 casts, just using the motor guide. And It's already paid dividends, he's on.
Come here. He's out. Whoa, and he's down. And I'm around the back. Oh, he's only a packer, but he might go size, this bloke.
Different size rules today. Queensland was 23 centimetres, New South Wales 25.
Yep, he's a winner.
Well, that's Royter's first fish for the day. Let's hope his luck is changed and he can score his first points for the tournament. And there you can see Royter on the top of the screen. And just here, fishing within spinning distance, is Jesse Lomas from Team Suzuki. The 2 youngest pros with the same idea, and Lomas is on as well. Great start for Team Suzuki.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Just taking it nice and easy. Yes! Thumper. Absolute snorker.
Well, that's a huge fish for Jesse Lomas. No need to measure that. He's pleased, and doesn't he want Adam Royter to know?
Yeah, that is a good fish he's got there. Well over a kilo plus of big fat bum bream. Oh yeah.
Well, that's easily the biggest fish of the tournament so far. From Lomas to his fellow Queenslander Morgan, fishing over on the oyster racks, a different style.
There's a lot of oyster leases here with racks and old broken racks and oysters on them, which the bream like feeding on. Tide's probably a bit high now, but I'll just keep working along here, and because when I fished them the other day, you could actually see the tops of the racks above the water, so they're probably spread out a bit more at the moment, the fish, but they'll still be here. Yep. Oh, busted me. That was a good fish. That was the first good fish of the day. He just got right back in around that lease there, so only one thing you can do in a situation like that is pick you right up and go again.
The eternal optimist, Tim Morgan. Back to Adam Royter. And he's already got 3 fish now. We'll show you a replay of a couple we've missed already. And this could make it number 4.
Come here, come here, come here. Oh yeah, I got him out. I've popped him out. Blow heaven, come on. Oh, that's a tougher fish. That's a better looking fish. I'm gonna need the net. Oh man, these fish have got a lot of toe for their size. They really do. A lot of toe for their size. That's a good fish. Come on, pal. Yeah, table for 1 at Hog's Breath, is it? I think so. All right.
Royter showing great control of his outfit. The result, an absolute perler.
Have a look at that. That's a beautiful big fish. Big old bream. He'll go in my tank.
Big fish for number 4 for Royter. Let's go back and check numbers 2 and 3 from earlier on. Just on an hour, he picked up his second fish. He hasn't moved from the same spot, so he's made a good choice in position. Also a good choice in rig. He's caught all 4 fish on a 2-inch fat grub in amber colour. The Victorian on fire, 4 fish in under 2 hours. Now over to Ian Miller from Team Mariner. The New South Welshman currently 5th in the tournament, and that form hasn't changed for him today. No luck so far, just under 3 hours, nothing in the live well. And he won't be happy with this. Chris Wright muscling in on his territory.
I hope Chris doesn't go down there where those sticks are. I was hoping I'd be able to keep it to myself. He's too good not to see it.
Compliment there for Chris Wright, but he may not need that spot, Miller, because he's on. Miller absolutely devastated at losing that fish. Here's Wright at the spot that Miller didn't want him to fish at, already with one fish. We'll show you that shortly. Wouldn't it rub salt into the wounds of Miller if he could make it 2? And he's about to.
Get out of there. Oh, please don't. Nice fish. Come on, yep. Good big fish. Yes. Woo.
3 hours in, 2 fish for Chris Wright. We'll go back and see his first fish now. Caught just on an hour into the competition, another good size. We've already seen the size of the fish come out of the Hawkesbury River, a lot larger than we saw in rounds 1 and 2 from Queensland. Back to Adam Royter from Team Hogs Breath, having a terrific day with 4 fish already. Has turned his fortunes around. Let's go down the river and talk to him. Are you there, Adam?
Yes, mate, I got you.
Adam, finally a change of luck for you. Tell us about your first couple of hours.
First couple of hours have been really productive. I've got 4 in the bin, and one of them's a nice one, about a kilo, maybe a bit more.
Yeah, we've seen some good fish today. What's been the reason for your success?
It's just different structure, different place to fish. I worked out a pattern. I cracked a pattern on Thursday, and I'm just following that one through, so it's good. I'm catching them.
Well, I hope the plan continues. Good luck.
Thanks, mate. I'll speak to you soon.
Back with Equal Championship leader Tim Morgan, still in the same spot, and that's a real surprise. No fish in the live well after almost 3 hours. He's sticking to his guns, and that's why patience has paid off for him.
Get away from that, please. Oh, yeah. Whew. What a... Oh, yeah. That's a lovely fish. That'll probably go up around 900 grams. Similar to the one I lost before, but hopefully if I can get another 4 of them.
Can Morgan storm home in the afternoon to take the points? Or can this man, Steve Starling, he's done it before? We'll find out after the break. Welcome back to the AFC Outdoors Bream Pro Series Round 3. This is the first time we've seen Steve Starling. Nothing for him today. We're halfway through. He's moved down to the bridge where we saw Lomas and Royter get some good fish earlier on. He stormed home in round 2 to take the points. Can he do it again today? Because he's on for the first time.
This is our first keeper, if I can get him in. Come on, stay on there. Oh yeah, you're a nice fish. You're a nice fish. Come on, matey. Yes! Ho-ho. Don't have to measure that one. 5 of those would do just nicely. Oh.
Have a look at this. Jesse Lomas with 1 fish in the live well. Gone for a change of tactic, using light tackle, very soft rod. Just look at the load on that rod. Now this is going to take all the skill that he has. He's got a locked up drag, and he has to really steer the fish away from the oyster leases that he's been fishing. Really is tough to get this in. Pretty risky choice by Lomas to try this outfit, but it looks as though it's going to pay dividends for him. Another good sized fish into the net, and he makes it number 2.
Fantastic. Oh yeah, another stonker.
This Hawkesbury River continues to dish up good fish, and it looks like Chris Wright is onto another one. Already with 4 fish. We'll show you a replay of a couple he caught earlier, but this will make it a full bag for Chris Wright.
That's 5. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Beautiful fish.
He's delighted, and so he should be, because in round 3, he's the man to catch. As we go back and check out his earlier fish, number 3 came at 10.17. Another good size for him. He stayed around the oyster leases, and it's proved good for him. Not so good for our cameraman, who almost took a tumble as Chris brought in number 4. A lovely addition to his live well. He now has 5, and there's some good sized fish within that 5. But perhaps not as good as this one from Tim Morgan. Only 2 fish, but remember, it goes on weight, not on numbers. 2 monsters for our Equal Championship leader has kept him right in the competition in round 3. He's got to beat Chris Wright, who's set for his first upgrade.
Oh, yeah. Oh. Things are going good, or what? Whew. Oh, this is great. Now we've got a dilemma. We've got to figure out which one's the smallest in the bag. This is a big decision. I've got 2 fish, and I really don't know. We'll go this one. He's got a bit thicker set of shoulders on him. We'll put this one back.
Tough decision for the New South Welshman, but what a position to be in. Back to the Queenslander, Tim Morgan. The tide's dropping, still fishing the oyster racks.
Oh, it's a flathead. Flathead are the rogue species of the day, so whoever gets the biggest flathead gets a bonus championship point. Much rather the brim, but hopefully it'll be the biggest one and it'll be an extra point for me. So there he is sitting on there, and he's 41 centimetres. So I'll release him.
Back to Ian Miller. Hasn't been the best of days for him so far, but he does have one fish. We'll show you that shortly. This is a good size fish.
Ooh.
Take a look at this.
That's a quality fish. That is a quality fish.
It certainly is. As we get into the afternoon, we're really seeing some big fish on here on the Hawkesbury River. Good change of luck there for Ian Miller from Team Mariner. Beautiful fish. 2 now for Miller as we recap his first fish. Took him almost 4.5 hours to finally land one. He was lucky to get into the boat. As you can see, the lure popped straight out of his mouth. Tim Morgan once again. The tide has really dropped. The oyster racks are exposed. Fish trying to dive back through the racks for protection. Morgan already has 2 monsters in the live well. This could very well make it 3. 3 big fish with big weight. He's putting out the challenge to Chris Wright.
Whew. Probably about 20 minutes of fishing left. 3rd one in the well. Whew, let's go. Let's get another one.
Mr. Consistent once again on song for round 3. We expected this man to be as well, but Steve Starling, not his day today, just the one fish.
A flathead. Maybe not. Oh, it's not a flathead. It's a grinner. Something that I'm not today, a grinner. Look at that. It's not much bigger than the lure. That sort of sums my day up, I think. Can't even catch a flathead.
Starling giving up on brim and searching for a flathead for the bonus point, and that's not working. Here's a man that's working beautifully. Chris Wright with a full bag, an opportunity for his 2nd upgrade.
Oh, there's an upgrade. Whew. All right. They are swallowing this bloodworm down the hatch. Beautiful brim.
The bloodworm coloured soft plastics, the real success story for Chris Wright and Team Quinrex today. But has he done enough to take the points in round 3? We'll find out after the break. Welcome back to the AFC Outdoors Brim Pro Series Round 3. Chris Wright from Team Quinrex. What a wonderful afternoon he's had on the Hawkesbury River. He has to beat this man, Adam Royter from Team Hog's Breath. After 4 pros have weighed in, Royter leads the table at the moment with 4 fish at 2.3 kilos ahead of Lomas, Miller and Starling, bringing up the rear with just the 1 fish today. But the New South Welshman, Chris Wright from Team Quinrex, could be the man to beat. He's had a full bag for most of the afternoon.
It started off pretty quiet in the morning, but it ended up okay. Got the full bag there.
It ended up great, actually. We hit a spot, some big posts, and got a few big fish off it. It was awesome.
5 big fish to weigh now for Wright. Up against Adam Royter's 4. We checked the scales, 2.98 kilos. And that 5th fish has made the difference. The best weight of the tournament so far for Chris Wright from Team Quinrex. But here he is again. Tim the Brim Morgan from Team Mercury, equal championship leader. And once again, he's put himself in a position to take the points.
Yeah, the day started off pretty slowly. I got one at about 8:30 and busted up around the same time. And I think the 2nd fish came at 11:30, so a few nervous moments. So yeah, no, it was
the biggest rogue fish belongs to you today as well, Tim.
Yeah, I got a flathead, I think it was 41 centimetres, which just picked out slip, so it was good.
Got to be nice to get the points for the rogue fish, but let's whack these on the scale.
Will it be a question of quality up against quantity? 3 fish for Morgan. Not enough for Chris Wright's 5. He falls short at 2.66 kilos. And Chris Wright has taken his first round of the AFC Outdoors Brim Pro Series. And that earns him the maximum 10 points ahead of Morgan with 9, 1 for the bonus. Royter on the board with 6, ahead of Lomas, Miller and Starling.
But it's great to have a win today. You know, I was out there just struggling a bit at first and then found a patch and worked it and got some really good fish. I'm absolutely wrapped.
That win puts Wright in second place on our championship leaderboard. 3 behind our current leader, Tim Morgan. Jesse Lomas holds ground in 3rd spot, ahead of Starling, Miller and Royter. If you have aspirations of being an AFC Pro Angler in the future, grab a copy of the 2004 Tournament Angler Guide. With all the tips, techniques and gear you need detailed inside, it's a must-read for any competitive angler. Available in your newsagent now.
Now remember to get your copy of the 2004 Tournament Angler Guide. It's well worth the read.
Now today here in Pittwater, Chris Wright had a cracker of a day. Now Tim Morgan, of course, still sits at number 1 on our leaderboard. Chris moves up to number 2, and we'll see if he can hang on to that awesome form again next week.
That's right, but you've got to keep in mind Steve Starling only brought in 1 fish today, so he's got a point to prove in Sydney Harbour next week.
3 rounds so far and 3 different winners, so a big one next week. Our 6 pros tackle the magnificent Sydney Harbour, and we'll see you then.